I never thought organizing old books would lead to her whispering at her doorway, "I need to tell you something. That photo in your wallet, Marcus. He's my son. You're his roommate, aren't you?" I should have left then, should have finished the job, collected my volunteer hours, and never looked back at that Victorian mansion she called a home library. But she'd been honest when she could have hidden it. That transparency, that vulnerability, it changed everything. So, I stayed. That decision would cost me my best friend's trust, my academic reputation, and 2 years of complicated rebuilding. And I'd still make it again. The library coordinator at campus sent the email on a Tuesday. Local collector needs help organizing private collection. 20 volunteer hours available. Graduate students preferred. I needed those hours for my public history degree. I replied within minutes. Dr. Evelyn Thorne. The email signature was elegant, formal, PhD, medieval literature, independent scholar, an address in the historic district, a request to arrive Saturday at 10 a.m. I showed up early. The house made me stop on the sidewalk, 3 stories of cream-colored Victorian architecture, wrap-around porch with ornate railings, stained glass windows catching morning light like fractured rainbows. Maple trees flanked the entrance. Not a house, a statement. She answered the door in cashmere and reading glasses, dark hair twisted up with what looked like an actual fountain pen, faint lines around her eyes that made her striking instead of aged. 40-something? Maybe 45. The kind of confidence people earn by stopping to care what strangers think. "You must be Daniel," she said. Her voice was low, textured, like expensive whiskey poured over ice. "Come in. The collection is extensive." Extensive was an understatement. Her entire second floor was library floor-to-ceiling shelves, rolling ladders, the smell of old paper and leather, and something floral I couldn't name. Dust motes danced in shafts of sunlight. Must have been 2,000 books, maybe more. "I've been acquiring for 20 years, she said, watching me stare. "My ex-husband called it an obsession. I called it a life's work." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "He kept the beach house in the divorce. I kept the books. I won." Her study was intimate. A desk by the window overlooking a garden gone wild with autumn roses, leather chair worn soft at the armrests, 3 walls of books in Latin, Middle French, Germanic scripts. "These are the valuable ones," she said, pulling out a volume with careful hands. Cloth gloves appeared from a drawer. 15th century manuscript, illuminated, worth more than my car. She handed it to me. Careful. Our fingers touched through the gloves. The book was heavy, real, vellum pages thick as cardstock. Gold leaf caught the light. Someone had drawn these angels 600 years ago, mixed their own pigments, worked by candlelight. "Beautiful," I breathed. "Isn't it?" She was closer now. I could smell jasmine and something darker, tobacco, maybe, or aged leather. Old books and expensive perfume. It made the small room feel smaller. "You actually read these?" "Every one. I collect for company. Books don't leave. Don't decide you're too much." The bitterness was sharp, a blade barely concealed. She laughed short, surprised. "Is it that obvious? I got dumped 6 months ago." She said I was boring, too predictable. "That doesn't sound boring. That sounds like someone who appreciates depth." She stepped back, breaking the moment. "Rare qualities. Your ex was an idiot. The validation shouldn't have mattered." But it did. We worked for 3 hours. Her system was chaotic, organized by acquisition, not scholarly method. Around noon, over-ordered Thai food eaten at her desk, we talked. Her dissertation, on Christine de Pizan. My thesis on digital archiving methods. "You understand that history isn't dead," she said, setting down her pad thai. "It's alive. We're in conversation with it constantly." Exactly. The connection felt electric, like touching live wire. Every cataloging choice shapes what future generations think matters. We were sitting close, knees almost touching. She told me about her ex saying she lived in the past, his remarriage to someone younger, 45, divorced, watching him restart with someone 32. The narrative writes itself. "You're not a discarded anything," I said quietly. "You're exactly right." The air changed. Her eyes darkened, pupils widening. I could see her pulse at her throat, quick and visible. The afternoon light slanted through the window, warm on her skin. Then her phone rang, sharp and intrusive. She grabbed it, stood abruptly. I should probably go, I said. Of course. Same time next week? At the door, she touched my arm. Light, electric. Daniel, wait. I need to tell you something. I turned. She was holding my jacket, her eyes caught on my wallet photos visible through the plastic sleeve. Marcus, in his cap and gown. Marcus and me at a Seahawks game, both grinning, beer in hand. Her face went pale. Actually pale. That photo. Marcus. He's my son. You're his roommate, aren't you? The world tilted. Everything tilted. You're Marcus's mother? The words came out strangled, foreign. I didn't know until just now. When you paid for lunch, I saw the photo but didn't process it. I'm so sorry. This is... She stopped, took a breath that shook. This changes everything. Yeah, it does. I stepped back, created distance, needed air that didn't smell like jasmine. I should go. You should. But neither of us moved. Or we acknowledge this is impossible and decide what to do about it. Together. Honestly. Honestly, what do you want to do? I want to see you again. Her voice was steady now, certain despite the tremor. Knowing it's complicated. Knowing Marcus might never forgive me. But, honestly, not hiding. Because what I felt today talking to you, watching you handle those manuscripts like they were sacred, I haven't felt that in years. He's my best friend. My roommate. He talks about you. Worries about you. I know. Which is why if we do this, we do it right. We tell him. Soon. Not today, give us time to understand what this even is. But we don't lie to him. I won't do that to my son. I should have said no. Should have walked away. 1 week, I said. We'll see each other this week. Figure out if this is real. Then, we tell him together. Before it goes further. She nodded. 1 week. Then, honesty. I promise. Wednesday evening, I was back at her house. She answered in jeans and a sweater, hair down, feet bare. More real than formal, Evelyn. More dangerous. We worked through devotional texts, medieval women writing to God about desire, devotion, evocative language, aching with longing. Words chosen 6 centuries ago that still burned. They were human, Evelyn said, holding a manuscript with reverence. No, I said. Good. Because what I feel when you're here, it's not rebound or ego boost. You make me want to be brave again. To choose something for myself instead of what's expected. You make me feel exactly enough. Not too boring. Just right. I kissed her. Mutual decision. Mutual risk. Her hands in my hair, my arms around her waist, medieval books witnessing centuries of foolish human desire. She tasted like coffee and something sweet honey, maybe, or possibility. When we broke apart, both breathing hard, she whispered against my mouth, "This is a terrible idea." Catastrophically bad, I agreed, kissing her again. We have to tell Marcus. Soon. I know. We spent an hour on her couch talking between kisses about what we were willing to risk. What we owed to Marcus. What this might cost. This weekend, she said. We'll tell him together. Thursday, Evelyn called Marcus. Asked him to come Saturday morning for an important conversation. He texted me, "Mom wants to talk. Sounds serious." I wrote back, "I'll be there." Saturday morning. I arrived at Evelyn's house at 9 a.m. Marcus's car was already there. Engine ticking. My stomach felt like lead. I sat in my car for 5 minutes, hands gripping the wheel until my knuckles went white, trying to breathe. Evelyn opened the door. She looked terrified. Dark circles under her eyes. "He's in the living room," she whispered. "Ready?" "No. But let's do this." Marcus was on the couch, coffee mug in hand, steam rising. He glanced up, saw us standing together. "What's going on?" His voice was casual, but his eyes were wary. "You said it was important." We sat. Evelyn in the armchair across from him. Me on the ottoman beside her. Close, but not touching. The coffee table between us felt like a battlefield, like no man's land. Evelyn took a breath. Held it. Released it slowly, deliberately. "Marcus, I need to tell you something. Daniel and I have been seeing each other. Romantically. It started 2 weeks ago when he came to catalog the collection. We're telling you now because I'm not going to hide this from you." The silence was deafening. I counted heartbeats. 5, 10, 15. Marcus's face went through several expressions: confusion, disbelief, anger. Something that might have been disgust or horror. Or both. You're seeing my mom? His voice was flat, controlled. My mom. Yes, I said quietly. How long? His coffee mug sat forgotten, cooling. 2 weeks. I didn't know she was your mother until the first day. She recognized your photo in my wallet. Told me immediately. We've been trying to figure out if this is real or just what? Convenient? His mug hit the table hard. Coffee sloshed over the rim. Marcus, Evelyn said, voice sharp. Don't what? Be upset that my best friend is dating my mother? While I'm living with one of you and calling the other asking if she's eating enough? He stood. Started pacing. 4 steps. Turn. 4 steps. Turn. Footsteps. Heavy on hardwood. She's 45, Dan. You're 29. You're closer to my age than hers. What the hell are you thinking? I'm thinking she's brilliant and complicated and makes me feel alive for the first time since Emma left. I'm thinking age doesn't matter when you actually connect with someone on a fundamental level. I'm thinking, you're thinking with your dick. He spun to face me. Does she know about Emma? How that breakup wrecked you? How you couldn't get out of bed for 3 days? Is that what this is? Rebound with someone safe? The accusation hit like a physical blow. That's not, I stood too. That's not what this is. Don't reduce her to some stereotype. Then what is it? Explain it to me. Because from where I'm standing, my best friend is taking advantage of my vulnerable mother who just went through a devastating divorce. I'm not vulnerable. Evelyn's voice cut through the room like a blade. She stood, facing her son. I'm a grown woman making a conscious choice. Don't infantilize me. You just got divorced. Dad married someone my age and that destroyed you. And now you're dating someone 16 years younger? Mom, this looks like you're trying to prove something. This is my decision. Mine. She crossed to him. I know you're hurt. I know this feels like a betrayal. But Daniel didn't take advantage of me. If anything, I pursued him. I made the first move. I chose this, knowing it would complicate things, knowing you might hate me for it. Marcus's expression cracked. I don't hate you. I'm just, Mom, everyone's going to judge you. Say terrible things. I don't want that for you. I know. But that's my choice to make. She touched his arm. You've been telling me to start living again. To let myself feel something. This is me doing that. It doesn't look like what you expected, but it's real. He turned to me. And you? Is this real, or are you going to wake up in 6 months and leave her devastated? I don't know the future, I said, meeting his eyes. But I know what I feel right now is real. Your mom challenges me in ways no one ever has. She sees me. Really sees me. Not the boring guy Emma left. She makes me want to be braver, better, and I care about her enough to risk losing you. Which probably makes me the worst friend, but it's the truth. Marcus sat back down, dropped his head in his hands. This is so messed up. We know, Evelyn said softly. Everyone's going to have opinions. Dad, your family, my friends are going to make terrible jokes. We've talked about it, I said. And you're both okay with that? No, Evelyn admitted. I'm terrified. But I'm more terrified of giving this up because I'm scared of judgment. Marcus was quiet for a long time. Minutes passed, heavy. Finally, he looked up. I need time. I can't just be okay with this. Take all the time you need, I said. I'll move out, stay with my parents for a while, give you space in the apartment. No. He shook his head firmly. Don't leave. That's running away. If you're serious about this, about her, then you stay. We figure it out like adults. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it sucks. Are you sure? No. But I'm not going to let this destroy our friendship without trying to work through it. You've been my best friend for 7 years. That counts for something. He stood. I love you. I'm mad as hell, but I love you. Just give me space. I'll call when I'm ready. I understand. Thank you for listening. Yeah, well, he grabbed his keys, stopped at the door. Dan, hurt her. And I'll kill you. I know. He left. Evelyn and I stood in the sudden silence. That went better than I expected, she said. He didn't disown us. Not yet. She pulled back. Thank you. For being honest with him. That matters more than you know. Living with Marcus after that was excruciating. He wasn't hostile, that would have been easier. Instead, he was distant. Polite in that terrible way, that's worse than anger. We passed each other with nods. Coordinated shower schedules via text even though we were 10 feet apart. The silence was thick. Oppressive. I heard him on the phone with his sister one night. Yeah, he's dating Mom. It's weird as hell. I'm trying to be mature about it, but yeah. I wanted to apologize, but there was nothing to say. After 3 weeks, he finally broke the silence. We were on the couch, pretending to watch a Seahawks game. Are you still seeing her? He asked during a commercial. Didn't look at me. 3, 4 times a week. So, it's serious. Yeah. He was quiet. The game came back on. She seems happier, he said finally. When I called her yesterday, her voice was lighter. I haven't heard her laugh like that since before the divorce. Something in my chest loosened. She makes me happy too. I still think this is weird as hell. And if you hurt her, you'll kill me. I know. And if she hurts you, I'll be there for both of you. Because you're both idiots, but you're my idiots. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was something. A crack in the wall. Thanks, man. Don't thank me. This is still the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I laughed. He smiled despite himself. We good? We're getting there. 6 weeks in, word spread across campus like wildfire. Someone saw us at a restaurant downtown. By Monday, 3 people had asked if I was really dating that professor's ex-wife. By Tuesday, whispers about the age difference. By Wednesday, 2 anonymous emails with creative insults. My advisor, Dr. Wynn, called me in Thursday. Closed the door. I sat, pulse hammering. Daniel, are you involved with Dr. Evelyn Thorne? I could have lied. But I was tired of hiding. She sighed. I appreciate your honesty. Dr. Thorne isn't affiliated with this university. No professional conflict. But optics matter. You accessed her collection. You're in a relationship. She's significantly older. People are talking. Some sit on academic committees. My work stands on merit. I have documentation. My timeline shows I completed analysis. Before we dated. External reviewers confirmed. I know. Your work is excellent, but excellence doesn't always protect you. She leaned forward. Be prepared for scrutiny, especially at your defense. Some will use your relationship to undermine your work. Have your documentation ready. Be transparent. And pray Dr. Morrison isn't feeling vindictive. She was right. My thesis defense 3 months later was brutal. The room was small, windowless. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like trapped insects. 5 committee members sat in a semicircle. Dr. Nguyen, Dr. Morrison, Dr. Lee, Dr. Patel, Dr. Johnson. I stood at the podium, mouth dry, my career balanced on 90 minutes. The first 40 minutes went well. I presented my thesis on digital archiving methods, discussed preservation versus access, fielded questions about methodology and theoretical framework with growing confidence. Dr. Lee seemed genuinely interested, nodding along, taking notes. Dr. Patel asked insightful questions about my case studies, probing but fair, her expression encouraging. Then Dr. Morrison leaned forward, eyes sharp. The temperature in the room dropped. Mr. Chen, I'd like to discuss your bibliography, specifically your use of rare texts from private collections. Dr. Wien's posture shifted. She knew what was coming. So did I. Of course, I said, keeping my voice steady despite the tremor I felt. Your bibliography includes 17 rare texts from Dr. Evelyn Thorne's private collection. Medieval manuscripts. Incunabula. First editions. How exactly did you gain access to these materials? I cataloged Dr. Thorne's collection as part of my volunteer work through the university's public history program. 20 hours initially, then additional paid work to complete the cataloging system. She granted me research access as part of that arrangement, all properly documented with the program coordinator. I see. And your relationship with Dr. Thorne, when did that begin? The room went very quiet, oppressively so. Dr. Lee looked uncomfortable, shifting in his chair. Dr. Johnson was suddenly fascinated by his notepad, pen moving without purpose. After the initial cataloging work was complete, I said carefully, choosing each word like stepping on stones across a river. We've been transparent about our relationship. It hasn't influenced my research or analysis. Can you prove that? Dr. Morrison's tone was challenging, aggressive even. Can you prove that your access to these rare materials, your relationship with someone who has deep expertise in medieval literature and archival theory, didn't provide you with inappropriate assistance? My jaw clenched. I forced it to relax. My research focuses on digital methods and contemporary archival theory. Dr. Thorne's expertise is medieval literature. Different fields entirely. And yes, I can prove independent work. My research timeline, documented in my lab notebook, shows that I completed the majority of my analysis before our relationship began. I have dated entries, external reviewer feedback, workshop presentations from 8 months ago, all predating our romantic involvement by 5 months. But you discussed your work with her. You admit that. I discussed methodology with her, yes. The same way I've discussed methodology with dozens of people, including faculty at 3 other universities who provided feedback on my draft chapters. Dr. Thorne's input was valuable, but no more so than Dr. Rodriguez at Berkeley or Dr. Kim at Michigan, both of whom also read portions of my work and provided extensive comments. Dr. Morrison wasn't satisfied, his lips pressed into a thin line. The concern, Mr. Chen, is that you may have received preferential access to materials, special treatment, or intellectual support that gave you an unfair advantage over your peers. The age difference and power dynamic in your relationship raises questions about Dr. Morrison. Dr. Nguyen's voice was sharp, cutting through the air like a whip. Daniel's work has been vetted by 3 external reviewers who had no knowledge of his personal life. All 3 confirmed its originality, rigor, and contribution to the field. This line of questioning is inappropriate and borders on harassment. I'm establishing academic integrity. You're implying misconduct without evidence. You're using his personal life to undermine professionally reviewed work. If you continue this line of questioning, I will file a formal complaint with the University Ethics Board for bias and personal animus. The room was silent, tension crackling like electricity. Dr. Morrison's face flushed red, mottled. He sat back in his chair, jaw tight, hands gripping the armrests. Dr. Patel cleared her throat, breaking the moment. I'd like to return to the actual content of the thesis. Mr. Chen, in Chapter 4, you discuss the tension between preservation and access in digital archives. Can you elaborate on how that applies to indigenous knowledge systems? The rest of the defense focused on my actual work, my research, my ideas, the questions I'd prepared for. 90 minutes later, they sent me out of the room to deliberate. I stood in the hallway, hands shaking violently, adrenaline crashing through my system like a drug wearing off, leaving me hollow. 15 minutes later, Dr. Nguyen opened the door. Her face was unreadable. Come in. I walked back in on legs that felt like water. 5 faces, still unreadable. Then Dr. Nguyen smiled, and I could breathe again. Congratulations, Dr. Chen. You passed with honors. Your thesis has been approved for publication. I nearly collapsed. Dr. Lee shook my hand, grip warm and firm. Dr. Patel congratulated me, genuine pride in her eyes. Dr. Morrison left without a word, the door closing hard behind him. Outside, Evelyn was waiting in the hallway, pacing. She stood when she saw me, read my face, her expression cycling through worry and hope. How did it go? They tried to tear me apart. Questioned everything. Implied I'd cheated or received special treatment because of us. Dr. Morrison was brutal, relentless. Her face fell, color draining. Daniel, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. If we hadn't, I passed. With honors. My work stands on merit. Dr. Nguyen defended me. The external reviewers confirmed everything. I pulled her into my arms, not caring who saw, not caring about anything except the solid reality of her. I defended it. All of it. The work, us, everything. And I won. She wrapped her arms around me, held tight enough I could feel her heartbeat against my chest. I'm so proud of you. I knew your work was excellent. I knew they couldn't actually find fault with it. It was worth it. You're worth it. All of it. I'm still sorry you had to go through that ordeal. I'm not. Because now I know I can defend us. I can stand up to scrutiny and come out the other side stronger. That matters. Evelyn's ex-husband sent threatening letters about their settlement, citing moral fitness concerns regarding her relationship with someone significantly younger. His lawyer dropped it when Evelyn's lawyer pointed out his own remarriage to a 28-year-old, the hypocrisy documented in court filings. My mother asked if I was sure. She's so much older, honey. She makes me happy, Mom. First time in years. Then I'm happy for you. Not perfect, but acceptance. 1 year in, I landed a position at the State Historical Society, archival specialist. They interviewed Evelyn as a reference. She gave me a professional review. I got the job on merit, my work speaking for itself. You earned this, she said. You taught me so much. And you taught me to be brave. 2 years in, things had changed in ways both small and profound. Marcus came to Sunday dinners now, a ritual we'd established slowly, painfully, over months of tentative steps forward and occasional steps back. This particular Sunday, he brought someone. A girlfriend. Her name was Amy, and she was nervous, fidgeting with her napkin, clearly briefed on the complicated family dynamics. We were in Evelyn's dining room, the table set with her good china, October light streaming through windows. The smell of roasted chicken filled the air, herbs and garlic, and home. Marcus cleared his throat. We all looked at him. He looked at Amy, then at us. Amy, these are the people I was telling you about. This is my mom, Evelyn. He paused. The pause stretched. Amy smiled politely, waiting. And this is Daniel, her partner. Partner. Not the guy dating my mom. Not my roommate who's seeing her. Not even my mom's boyfriend. Partner. The word hung in the air, solid and real. I felt something crack open in my chest, warm and vast. Evelyn's hand found mine under the table, squeezed hard. It's nice to meet you both, Amy said, oblivious to the weight of that single word, to the 2 years of painful work it represented. Marcus met my eyes across the table. Something passed between us, acknowledgement, maybe. Forgiveness, perhaps. Or just acceptance of reality. Messy and complicated and real. It's good to have you here, Evelyn said to Amy, her voice thick. The dinner proceeded. We talked about Amy's work, Marcus's upcoming promotion, safe topics that felt like miracles because we were all sitting together, sharing a meal, functioning like something approaching a family. After dinner, Marcus helped me clear plates in the kitchen. We worked in silence for a moment, the familiar rhythm of old friendship tentatively returning. Partner, I said quietly. Thank you for that. He shrugged, rinsing a plate under hot water, steam rising. It's what you are. Took me a while to see it, but it's true. You're not going anywhere. She's not letting you go. Might as well call it what it is. It means a lot, more than you know. Yeah, well, don't make it weird. Couldn't exactly say, my mom's dating my former roommate and it's super awkward. Had to own it. Former roommate? I'm moving in with Amy next month. Figured you'd want the apartment to yourself. Or maybe you're moving in here with Mom. I don't know. I laughed. He laughed too. And just like that, something that had been broken for 2 years started to heal, piece by piece. This morning, I watch her translate medieval French in my old university shirt, the one she stole months ago and refuses to give back. Reading glasses perched on her nose, silver threads catching morning light in her hair like veins of precious metal. A cup of coffee steams beside her elbow, forgotten. Outside, rain begins to fall. What are you staring at? She asks, without looking up. Pen still moving across her notebook in that elegant script. You. Us. This life we built. She sets down her pen, marks her place with a leather bookmark, crosses to where I stand by the window, kisses me soft and certain, tasting like coffee and possibility. Worth it? She asks. A question we've asked each other 100 times. A ritual. Every difficult, honest moment. Every hard conversation. Every risk. Good. Because I'm not giving you back. I pull her closer. Breathe in jasmine and old books and home. Scents that have become synonymous with safety, with belonging. Outside, October rain falls on the garden below. Heavy drops that sound like small drums on the leaves, rhythmic and hypnotic. That particular autumn rain that smells like wet earth and decay and new growth all at once. Petrichor rising from soil, Endings and beginnings impossible to separate. We stand together watching water streak the antique windows and rivulets, surrounded by centuries of handwritten proof in leather-bound volumes that humans have always chosen foolishly, recklessly, beautifully. Same time next Saturday? She asks, lips curving. Our old joke from that first day, when everything was simpler and infinitely more complicated. Every Saturday, every day, every moment you'll give me. Deal. We kiss again, deeper this time. Then go back to work, cataloging books in her system that's become our system, building an archive that's become our shared project, choosing each other daily, honestly, courageously, despite everything the world threw at us. Not a fairy tale ending with everything perfect and resolved. Something better. Something earned through transparency and hard conversations and choosing courage over comfort. Something real that smells like jasmine and old paper and tastes like honesty. Real.